Hey guys, it's Jamie. I'm here at the shop today and we're doing a rack build. Today we're going to put in some Sonos. As you can see, I've kind of unboxed everything here. I've just now got the rack kind of started up, and when we build the racks here, the most important thing is to keep everything organized, clean, and wire free. That way, you can imagine if you had this much Sonos in your house, which is basically all your multi-room amps, it would take up a ton of space. So you got to find a good spot to put this rack, and we've got the perfect spot in this house we're working on. So the goal here is to take all of this, put it in the rack, and build it so that it's clean, it works, it's functional. We can actually test it out here, so when we come to your house to install it, it's really just a matter of rolling up the rack, putting it upstairs, and just wiring everything up. So, in a matter of a couple hours, we'll be able to have Sonos, surveillance. We've got all of our Wi-Fi gear up there, and you can see our access points up top. So we'll have 5 access points for Wi-Fi through the house. It'll be quick and easy, and like I said, half day, and everything is already working in the house, so progress feels great. Let's take a peek, and I'll get everything wired up for you. So as you can see, we've got everything unpacked and ready to go in the rack. I've already got the rack shelves lined up, so I kind of have everything evenly spaced for what I want it to do. Just above where we're going to put all these Sonos amps. And Sonos is basically just a music platform that plays streaming music. So they have up to 30 different services with a really cool app on your phone. You open it up, pick the room you want. In this case, we're going to have 9 different rooms, and you can group them all together with the push of a button. You can play your Pandoras, your Spotify, your TuneIn, your Rhapsody, iHeartRadio, Google Play Music. They've got Amazon Music, they've got Apple Music. So pretty much anything you have an account with that you can stream, you can play right to these amplifiers. The amplifiers are pretty simple, just are wired for left and rights in the back with a network jack, and they've also got a line in, and what that means is if you have a cable box or let's say a CD player, something else that's just an auxiliary in you want to play, you just plug it into one of these and it becomes available via the app to play on all 9. You just pick that source and it plays. So the goal, take all of these, space them out. Right here's our networking gear, surveillance, and a little bit more networking, and we have PoE switches, which is power over Ethernet. And the power over Ethernet is basically going to power up these WAPs. So throughout the house we've pulled a Cat 6 cable, and what we're going to do so that you can have internet everywhere is take these access points here, and they're going to get mounted up on the ceiling. So we'll designate them in the program to cover certain amounts of area, and then we'll create what we call roaming, meaning when you take your phone from one spot to another, you'll be able to connect to the internet. This fixes the problem that a lot of people have on a larger scale house. You lose internet because you only have one Wi-Fi router. Well, this just basically gives you, in this house, we're going to do 5. So it gives you 5 different spots that when you move around the house, you're constantly connected and you have solid Wi-Fi. Okay, so we've got the rack loaded up. All the Sonos gear is mounted on each of the shelves properly. What's up next is we're going to label each one of these so you know which amp is powering which room. We're going to set up the surveillance, get it working with the network. We've got a little bit of Control 4 in here for automation. And as we flip this rack around, this is kind of somewhat of the hard part. So now we've got everything in here, and we've got to get our power management. So we're going to mount the we call them watt boxes, but basically the power conditioner that's going to keep everything from taking any type of surge. And then when we get to the house, we'll basically just bring our wires in through the bottom here and wire up each one of these amps, label the back, so when we're working on it later, we know exactly what we're looking at. I've gotten about as far as I can get today. I've got basically everything here in the rack loaded where it needs to go. I've got the Sonos and all the surge protectors. It's really time to do some cable management and lace everything up. So I'll pick back up here tomorrow and get it all buttoned up for you. Here's the final rack before delivery to the house. As you can see, each one of the power wires are fully zip tied and plugged into the power conditioners. The power conditioners have been put online, firmware's been updated, and a program's been written for each conditioner to say which amp is plugged into it. Once we get to the house, we'll pull all the wires through and zip tie them up. The Sonos on the front here will also be labeled for which room goes where, and as you see in the surveillance on the top, There's already a label on that, and we'll label each one of the switches as well so that everything is clean, neat, and organized.